So I'm just going to let the video play first, then I'll give you my thoughts on all of it.
They have reclaimed patriotism, right? Wes Moore has been trying to do this and talking about it since he started running for governor of Maryland 2 years ago. But think about the amount of flags and stars and stripes we've seen over the last few days. If the volume was down on your TV and you were squinting, you might think you were watching the RNC. And this is so rattling for Donald Trump. And just to hear them over and over, you don't hear them saying my fellow Democrats. They're saying my fellow Americans, right? To talk about your neighbor. You saw Bill Clinton and Barack Obama talk about extend that olive.
The Democrats really making a play to claim patriotism on their side.
One of the other things that struck me is, if you close your eyes, there were portions of last week that could have felt like a pre-Trump Republican convention. I mean, in the sense that there were these classic American themes like faith, family, even football. I know you're a football fan too. There were
Absolutely. I've been saying for years that the American flag is not the dominion of the Republican Party. We should be raving it more proudly, that we should be chanting USA, USA with all of our heart and spirit.
My biggest takeaway from a convention that was full of joy, excitement, and love of country. For far too long, Republicans treated the flag, the word patriotism, and chants of USA as their own property. If you weren't a Republican or a conservative, you weren't a real American. Or so they would have everyone believe. There was a time when chants of USA, USA would make the hair on my neck stand up because those chants had been turned into a roar of exclusion by Republicans. Not this time. The roar had an inclusive ring to it, filled with the kind of pride that comes with being part of a club where all are welcome.
The Democrats and the media just completely self-owned themselves there. They just essentially admitted that the Democrats haven't been patriotic, and I would argue in some cases the Democrat Party has been anti-American. And I'm not trying to be, divisive with that statement, but how can you say you're trying to reclaim the flag? How can you say that you're trying to... Here's the thing. Why did Democrats stop waving the flag in the first place? Why did Democrats find it so embarrassing, so threatening to even chant USA, USA, USA? Because here's the thing. Think about it this way. The Republicans never said to Democrats, you can't wave the American flag. This is ours. Because Republicans have always waved the American flag. We've stood for the Pledge of Allegiance. We've stood for the national anthem. We've chanted USA. We've been proud of our country. Even when we don't agree with who's in office, we've been proud to be Americans. It's the Democrats who themselves shied away from patriotism. It's them who shied away from the American flag, the ideals of our foundation, from the Constitution. Republicans didn't exclude them from that. The Democrats self-excluded themselves. Here's the proof of this. Because I'm a millennial, right? And so one of the key events when I was a kid, is 9/11, right? After 9/11, after those awful terrorist attacks, there was unity and patriotism all across the country from both sides, from both parties. And what happened? Right? Because both parties were patriotic, both parties waved the American flag, but all of a sudden, come 2007, 2008, one party, the Democrat Party, embraces a candidate whose wife says, until I was an adult, I had never once been proud of this country until now, when you guys nominated my husband to be president. Michelle Obama's words. I know a lot of people think Black Lives Matter started in 2020. No, Black Lives Matter started in 2012. Remember Trayvon Martin? And then we were told this insidious lie that America is not a good nation, that America was founded on racism, that America wasn't founded in 1776, but instead it's the 1619 Project. And then we had all the people, all the players kneeling for the national anthem, showing an obvious blatant sign of disrespect. And then you had Democrats just recently, as last week, saying the Constitution's a tiny piece of paper. I mean, the Democrat Party has been fuming, and I hate to say this anti-American sentiment, but they've really been ashamed, or they've been acting as if they've been ashamed to be American. So for them to, that's what led to them reclaiming the flag. right? Because it's them coming back to patriotism, them coming back to the flag. The flag didn't leave them; they left the